Hi there, welcome to this Mark's Reviews Tutorials video. Just going to talk to you about how to winterize your saltwater chlorinator. As you come into winter, no matter where you are in the world, you're going to need to turn your saltwater chlorinator down. This is a K-Chlor Digital. This is one I sell and recommend. Have a look at this video up here as to why I like it. I think it's an absolute ripper. When it comes to winterizing though, you need to check your salt level. So if you've got yourself a K-Chlor, you've got a salt button, so you can just press that and it'll measure the salinity level of your pool. But to winterize, your normal salt level for most saltwater chlorination, looking between 3,000 and 4,000 parts per million is where you want to be. This guy here can run between 3.5 and 7. It's got a lot of variability in it. But for winterizing, what you need to do is you can run your filter for less hours, and you can also turn down how much chlorine it's making. You see there 3,431. So we will put a little bit of salt in this, even though it's winter, because it's dropped down below the minimum level here. So we'll put a couple of bags of salt in just to top that up, and then a little bit more at the start of summer. So to winterize, okay, let's cut to the chase here. You need to adjust your time clock. You can adjust down a couple of hours. There's two ways to winterize. If you just leave your chlorinator as it is on the same filtration hours and set to the same amount of, let's come through here. So your chlorine output is currently set to 41%. Now this pool, I do a regular monthly clean on it, and the chlorine is too high at the moment. It was set on 55, so I've raked it back to 41, and I've taken 2 hours filtration off, because in the winter here in Australia, you just don't need the chlorinator running as much. With the cold water, it doesn't need as much chlorine to keep it clean and spot on. So two ways you can reduce how much chlorine that the cell is making. One is to reduce the filtration hours. Two is to reduce the percentage of output that you've got running. But you do need to do one or two, or even both of those as you come into winter. What I do in Australia, as we come in to February, I'll leave it all up, and then March you start to consider bringing it down a little bit because the water temperatures start to drop. And then April, for sure, that's where we're at now. You can bring it right down because your water temperatures are down, pools are not being used, and you can start to winterize the pool. In the same way, that slow ramping down that I do going into winter, turning the chlorinator hours and percentage down, I also ramp them up coming into summer as we get to September, October, November, and certainly by November you have them up ready for the hot weather. It's coming. I have to preempt these sort of things because I just do a full weekly service on swimming pools, so I've got to make sure that they're turned up to the right level. Now there are auto dosing, people saying auto dose, acid feeders and chlorinators with the probes and testing, absolutely. Personally, I don't think the technology is there yet. I haven't seen any of them that are lasting successfully between 2 and 3 years, and they're big bucks, they're thousands of dollars, so I do expect them to last longer than 2 or 3 years. So I'll make a video when I find something I'm happy with, but at this point all of the brands that are available, and I am aware of all of them. I'm a serviceman, so I get to go around and see them. I get called out for broken ones all the time. Certainly, I know there's a lot more Astral gear out there, but the Astral ones just seem to have lots and lots of problems. So I'm not yet at the point where I'm confident to sell them, because I don't think they're going to be something that'll keep customers happy. They're going to be causing problems. And yeah, there is one brand that in particular, if you've got 10 litres of acid sitting there and it malfunctions, it'll pump that whole 10 litres of acid into your pool. So it's not a great situation at all. So there you go. I'm still running with these K-Chlor Digitals. They don't have the auto sensing stuff on them, but that's because I don't believe we've yet got the technology. It's 2022 right now. I don't believe we've got the technology that they're tough enough to survive at this point in time.